Good morning and welcome to another one of my videos. I'm same place where I fished last week, although I'm about 100 yards further up. I'm at a place called Copperas Point, and last week we were fishing sort of down there, but there was all this weed growing on the sort of seabed, and I think it was masking our baits. We spotted when the tide went out that if you cast out a wee way, you're going to be fishing onto mud. So plan is this week we're going to fish onto the mud and the gravel. Andy's just down there. Initially I'm going to fish two rods. I'm going to chuck this one out, scratching rig, non-gripper lead, 160 somewhere around there grams, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, I don't know. Somebody out there no doubt will correct me, but it's a yellow one of those. And then on the advice of a local who we met last week, I'm going to have a go with a bit of a plug. I could have got a spinning rod, but I didn't. I just picked out an old one of my carp rods. It's a 3000 reel. This is a 25 gram, sort of looks like a mackerel stroke herring, I suppose. And I have a few cracks with that. Tide's going out for the next hour and 15, and then we're going to fish it all the way in till late afternoon, about 5. That is the plan. I can see the mud behind me, so if I fish from here, I'll be able to cast well into the mud. It's sort of stony, a little bit of weed in front of me, not too bad. That is the plan. And we're in a bit of a lagoon here, so the main channel's out this direction. So let's crack these rods out and see how we get on. Right, Andy has just had a stonking bite. He's missed a couple. We've only been here a few moments, and this is what he's got on the end of his line. So a little better than last week, and it would seem that our theory of trying to fish over clear ground is working, because it's presenting the baits and the fish can see it. Well done. Perfect. Right, it's my turn now. What is all that about then? Andy, 15 metres away, fishing same distance. My rod's doing nothing, his keeps doing this. What's going on? I've had a few crabs, no jokes. But, yeah. Right, Andy's done it again. These are a little bigger than what we were catching last time. So, yeah, we just need its bigger brother.
I want his granddad.
Oh, granddad, yeah.
I'm being fussy, I want his granddad.
Yeah. So the tide's coming in. The wind is not light. Story of my life, isn't it? I was saying to Andy earlier on, fishing is very challenging in environments like this. It's either weed, wind, tide, rain, northeasterly, southeasterly, strong westerly, but that's fishing. And the theory behind it all is to get past all of that, outsmart the fish and catch something. It's not working for me today, it's working for Andy. But we do have a wee bit of time. Tide is definitely moving. But what's so frustrating is to see fish like this and bigger, the bow waves pushing through the water in really shallow water. You can put your bait out there, completely ignore it. But one thing I have noticed is the pools that are around, there are all these tiny, tiny little fry in there. They're too small to put on a hook. And I think that's what they're coming in and chasing. But it's a beautiful place. And loads of bird life around here. And no one around today, which is odd. You'd think on a bank holiday weekend there'd be a few people about, but we're completely on our own. Bait diggers are still all over there, digging away. There's a chap who's come in on a boat to dig bait. It's probably a good place to go because the only way you can access it properly is with a boat. Please fish, bite. An EasyJet plane's just gone by. It almost matches my health and safety rod. Loads of people are taking the piss out of my rod. How can you not like this rod? It's like the racing car of fishing rods. Although it was the price of a 20-year-old car that hasn't got an MOT. But I love my rod. I think I need to rephrase that. What's up with me? I like my fishing rod. Now Andy is thrashing me. These little fish are giving stonking bites, but I have yet to catch a fish. Even a little itty bitty one like that I'd be happy with. That's really cool. And I saw the bite just went cracking over. Amazing little chaps. Yeah. He's going to get him back in the water. Yeah. I've just had a Facebook request from Marsha Evans. Marsha, your t-shirt has shrunk in the wash. Or there's a bit of it missing. You're old enough to be my daughter and you should know better. Because I've checked your profile and you've got nothing on it other than a picture of you in a shrunken t-shirt. So, as tempted as I am, Marsha, to accept your invitation, I'm afraid I'm going to have to disappoint you. I know, looking at me, that you're going to be really, really upset, but that's just the way it goes. The world can be a cruel place sometimes. My helpful hint to you, Marsha, is find somebody your own age, not a wrinkled old bloke. And my wife is very protective of me. Something's hammering on this. Eh? Let's see if it hammers on it again. I shouldn't be bringing this. Andy has just asked me what bait I'm using. And that is what I've caught. You're going to need a magnifying glass to see it. But it's a fish. I have not blanked. Hooray! Thank you, Bass. Right, let's get you back. Andy was stood down there like an egret, waiting. And he's just leapt off his little seat. And I wonder if he's got a fish. Well, he obviously had a bite. But he's beaten me again. What's all that about? One day I will beat him. Now, you know when I said earlier on I was embarrassed about the size of my catch.
Well, this isn't it.
But Andy's, I think, is slightly bigger than mine, so you're still winning. Well done. You obviously saw the bite on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw.
I've had 3 or 4 other bites on that one.
Yeah, I saw you.
I've had another bite on it while it's all gone slack.
I saw you galvanised and leaping off your seat.
Yeah.
Right, well maybe they're going to start biting again. Let's hope so. Yeah, that was a little embarrassing for that boat. They came steaming in here and then realised that they were maybe a little bit close. One, it's quite shallow out there, and I don't know whether they realised our fishing lines were here, but they tried to turn and then the wind caught them and tipped them over. So I think the chap's gone the other side and he's pulling on the keel. Look at that, up it goes. How cool's that? Well, they know what they're doing. So it can be very firmly said that Andy has made me look an idiot. Well done. Yeah, how many fish is that now then?
6 or 7.
Yeah, you've done well, chap, today. You're not really fishing any different to me. Running ledger? Yeah.
They're biting on the other one as well.
Yeah, I've seen you kind of like a bit of a cobra waiting.
Well, I had 2 bites, but I bite on each rod here at one moment.
Oh well, I keep telling myself, oh, that's the way fishing goes. But next Saturday I will get the fishing break. Where I live at the moment, there are traffic lights outside my house, and I live on a little country lane, which is a bit of a sort of cut through. So it gets quite busy, sort of in the morning between about 6 and 9:30, and then again sort of about 3 onwards, and queues of traffic up to the traffic lights, and they're literally, as I reverse out, traffic lights, which means you can't get out because no one lets you out, and then there's traffic coming the other way on the green light. So what I have to do is I get up really early, well, I get up early anyway because of the nature of what I do, and go and move the car out onto the verge. So I did that a couple of days ago, dragged a pair of shorts on, chucked a t-shirt on, didn't put any slippers or shoes on, trundled out through the front door, and there's a bit of grass that I walk along, which is next to where I park my car. Bit the car to open it up, thought that's very odd, I can feel something squidgy and not very nice between my toes. And yep, you've guessed it, it was more bloody dog shit from the walking dog shit machine that is my mother-in-law's dog. And if you can imagine a dog the size of a small Shire horse that is neurotic and miserable and is fed all the crappy things that you shouldn't really give a dog, that is the dog. Now I don't mind it going in the back garden because you can pick it up and see it, but now it's going in the front, and I have to say I was howling like some sort of mad werewolf out the front. I'm sure people thought, what the hell's he up to? Being bitten by a werewolf? So I then was in a conundrum. Do I move the car with dog shit that I'd cleaned off on the lawn? No. So I had to hop back into the house, down the corridor, hose off my foot, back out, get in the car, pick the dog shit up. Whoa, there's a bite. And it didn't really set my day up, I have to say. My wife just went, well, that's just the way it is. You've got to live with it. That's what happens when you get old. Have I got that to look forward to? I hope not. Come on, fish, do stuff. Big bite, big, huge bass. I've seen them out there. Just once, that's all I'm asking for. I'm going to put you back. Now I've just had my ratchet go ripping off, and this little chap has come along, and I was just sitting here thinking, oh, it's all gone quiet for the last several hours, but he's a tad bigger than the other chap, so maybe I need to kind of concentrate, I think. That He's a pretty little fish. They're spiky as what's it, these things. There he is. So, what a game little fish. Big up the bass. Right, chap, you're going back. Let's see if we can get another one. Well, the theory of fishing over the mud seems to work. I kind of managed to keep it out of the crab's gobs, so my theory is working. Well, there's a Spitfire zinging around out to my right, but it's way, way up, and it would be just a speck if I took some film of it. But it's getting to that time of the day where we're right at the top of the tide. Tide's starting to turn, go the other way now. Nearly used all of our bait, so I'm going to pack up and go. And it's getting really busy with boats and canoes and goodness knows what going on out there. But Andy has won today firmly. We came here to try and catch some bass. We caught bass, nothing really that good, but fish nevertheless. Andy's fish were sensible at the beginning of the day, and I thought, well, it's a good start. But good old me, minnow size. But it's still been fun. I've had a really lovely day, and I'm going to trundle home. So, to all of you, as ever, thanks for watching the stupid one. Goodness only knows what my week will be the coming week, but hopefully it won't involve dog poo. So, fingers crossed. But thanks for watching. Look after yourselves, and I'll catch you next Saturday at Shoreham with Dave, Andy, and maybe Ross. That's if it's not raining, because Ross might dissolve. Take care. Cheers.